Well, hey there, Undeserved Flavor Nation. Just wanted to do a real quick follow-up video, essentially a part 2. So, the question in the last video was, does it really matter in light of eternity? Does your theology or what you believe really matter to your eternal well-being? Does it have anything to do with your salvation? What I wasn't saying was, does it matter what you believe here on earth? Because if that was the question I was asking, the answer would be, in my opinion, yes, it does matter what you believe. There are good reasons for preaching the gospel. The real gospel, the good news. And I'm not talking about the news that, Jesus invited you to not spend eternity frying in your own fat, but you're responsible for making the decision to accept it. I'm talking about the good news that you don't have to worry. Salvation has come. Joy to the world. Salvation has come. And you didn't have to vote on it. Does it really matter what you believe here on earth, pre-mortem, in this life? I think it does. It matters a lot because there are people who are living in very hellish lives. Hell on earth. There's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of loss, there's a lot of tragedy. Just, you name it, there's hardship. These signs shall follow them that believe. As we become aware of our relationship with God, we become more confident, become more at peace. There is a manifestation of the reality of the peace that passes all understanding. To walk through life, to walk through hell on earth without fretting. Take that story where Jesus was sleeping in the boat and the storm was raging on, and Peter woke him up and said, "Jesus, we're going to die." Jesus says, "O ye of little faith." Well, for a lot of years I thought that story was referring to, well, Peter, what if you had the faith to just tell the storm to calm down? And I finally realized Jesus wasn't saying, Peter, you could calm the storm, even though he could have, and that is part of what is true. Ultimately, I think what Jesus wanted to convey there was, Peter, what are you afraid of? Just chill. There's nothing your circumstances can do to harm you. The image bearers of God are created in His image and likeness. Well, what is God? He's a creator, and He is above all things. He's not tyrannical, and neither are we supposed to be tyrannical. We're not supposed to subdue the earth in dominance. That's not the point. We're supposed to walk in a synergy with creation where everything is at peace and everything is joyous. And in some cases, when there's a storm, you can calm it. As a child of God, you have that ability. It's just a matter of waking up to the reality that you have that ability. And in a lot of cases, when there's a storm, you also have the peace that passes understanding to just keep on walking, knowing that storm is not going to negatively affect you. It's not going to kill you. You don't have to be afraid. Whatever it does, you don't have to be afraid of it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the point is, or the biggest goal and purpose of our life is to be in relationship and in tune with God. And so close to God that all of your thoughts and decisions are one. You don't do anything without consulting each other. And that's what's important. Does it really matter what you believe? Well, it does, because what matters most is that you wake up to the fact that you are already one with God, and a lot will change. Reality will manifest differently to you. you'll see things different. You'll realize truth has always been true, and a lot of what your eyes have been seeing, if not everything you've ever seen, has been a lie. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm not going to get totally into that. The point is, I just wanted to follow up the last question a little bit, because I didn't want everybody, whoever watched it, to think I have this mentality of, it doesn't matter what you believe, as soon as you die you could be a Muslim or whatever, or an atheist, and everything's cool. That wasn't the point. If you think that was the point, you missed the point. So I'm going to help you now. I'm doing you the service now. No need to thank me for saving you from being an idiot, but I'm doing it anyway. That's not the point. I wasn't saying you could just be whatever you want, think whatever you want, and you'll be all right. The point is, it's not your intellect or your belief or your theology or your doctrine that actually has a role to play in your salvation. That's the point. You're not saved because you believe a certain way. God saved you despite what you had to say about it, despite what you believe, because, like I said in the previous video, one day you will be standing in front of the King of Glory, and you won't have the ability to deny the truth. You won't have the ability to want to deny the truth, because the only reason anyone rejects the gospel is because they've been presented with a false gospel. And that's it. So, does it matter what you believe in the meantime? Yes. Because you need to share the truth. You can do a lot of good on this earth by enlightening people to reality. You're not saving anybody's life, but on a smaller, maybe less important than eternal life context, you are. You're saving people from a lot of heartache. Because once they realize the good news is that they are saved and they do have the ability to be at peace through the storm or calm the storm, whatever that is in their life, it's going to change everything in their life. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you've been given, freely give. Share the gospel. Share the real gospel. We out.